All right, YouTube family. So in this live stream, I am going to share with you exactly what my wholesaling business model looks like before versus what it looks like today. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video because I wanted to share with you and hopefully that you can get some tips, some takeaway from this to implement in your own wholesaling business. So whether you're a new real estate investor or you're experienced, hopefully this video will help you out. Also too is I want to let you know that with AI, with all of that going on in today's world, all right, if you don't adjust and if you don't adapt your business to what's coming, you're going to be left behind and you're going to get wiped out with all the laws, the regulations, and all of that, dude. You got to stay on top of your wholesaling business. Otherwise, dude, you will be extinct, okay? So I'm going to share with you, and what I'm about to share with you is going to help those of you who wants to get into the wholesaling game. And if you have a busy schedule, all right, or if you don't like to cold call, what if I can show you another strategy that you don't have to cold call? You don't have to sit there 4 to 8 hours a day talking to unmotivated seller, get burnout and exhausted. I'm going to show you a better way to do it in this is November, almost November of 2025, okay? So what my wholesaling business looks like before. So before that, my wholesaling business, I got 7 VAs that run my whole entire wholesaling operation. All right, and all of my VAs are from the Philippines. I pretty much have 3 cold caller, right? So you know, man, if you've been following me, you know that I've been my main strategy was to cold call, right? So I got 3 cold caller. All they do 8 hours a day, man. Boom, boom, boom. Right? You upload the list onto a dialer, and this thing just call. So the thing with cold call now is there's rules and regulations where it just makes it extremely tough to cold call. So I don't know about you, but in my market, cold calling just hasn't worked. And we stopped cold calling completely. Imagine this. I don't know about you, but for me, when I get a call from someone a number I don't know, 1, I will not answer it. Number 2 is I will block it. I'll block it, right? And that's what I feel like what's going on with, homeowners, sellers. That's exactly what they do. And cold calling has been, dude, regulated so bad that it is extremely hard, okay? So we don't do cold calling anymore, okay? Now, I also have 2, I used to have 2 purchase manager, okay? 2 purchase manager, which means their job, so this is my cold caller, I call them the lead manager, right? Their job is to filter and qualify the leads, right? Get rid of all the unmotivated seller, and then set the appointment so my purchase manager, right, can call them back, lock the property in a contract. All right, next, I have 1 dispo. Okay, dispo is like, I call them the transactional coordinator. Their job is once the property is under contract, okay, now their job is get rid of it, right? Sell it to a buyer and move it to the finish line. And then I also have 1 call auditor, which means their job 8 hours a day is to audit the lead manager call and the purchase manager call to make sure that everybody is on top of their game. There's nothing is falling through the crack, right? Their job is to audit all the calls, and it's very, very important, right? But now this is what my business looks like before, okay? And yes, we're still generating between 4 to 5 deals a month. That's all I'm doing. I'm not the guy who's doing 20, 30, 40, 50 deals a month. I'm only doing 4 to 5 deals a month. But my average deal is roughly between 20 to 25K. So you do the math. Okay? I don't mess around with the baby money, man. I don't mess around with the $2,500, the $5,000, the $10,000. I don't mess with that. When we make an offer, we want to make at least 20 to 25K minimum. Okay? So that's what it looks like. So let me share with you exactly what my business model looks like today. Okay? And this is going to blow you away. So what it looks like today is here's what we're doing. And here's what's been working for us. Okay? It might work for you, might not work for you. Okay? But here's what is working for us. And I'm telling you what I'm about to share with you. This business model, dude, probably a pretty damn good model. So right now, we got rid of 3 cold caller. Okay? So no more cold caller. We don't even need a call auditor anymore. So got rid of that as well. That has reduced my overhead it reduced my overhead by $10,000. So now every single month, I know that I'm already saving 10,000 bucks. So now we don't cold call anymore, but we do direct mail. Okay. We do direct mail. We do SMS. We do PPC, and we're working on Facebook ads. Okay. And text. That's what we're doing right now. I think text is a lot better. So let's just say if you have a tight budget, I think texting will be a lot better. It's still very, very affordable, right? Cheap enough for you to get into the game. I don't know about you, but when I get a text from a random phone number that I don't know, guess what? I will open the text and I will read it. But obviously, you do not click on any link. Okay? Because it can be a scammer. But I will open it and I will read it. And this is why we stop cold calling versus we rather just go with text. So now our strategy is we're more focused on inbound versus outbound. Now, I'm going to tell you why this strategy is fantastic for those of you who have a busy schedule. Let's just say you have a busy schedule, right? You got that 9 to 5 job that you got to go to. Imagine if every single day, right, you have, instead of sitting on the phone for 4 hours, it's exhausting. And I think most beginners will burn out before they actually close a deal. So what you do is you just set up your text message, okay? And every day before you go to work or after work, just send out 100 texts. It's easy. Send out 100 texts. Hey, my name is John. I'm interested in, buying your house at 123 Apple Street. All cash, quick closing, no real estate commissions, no closing costs, as is. Interested, call me or text me back to this number. Bam. 100 every single day before you go to work. Now it becomes a fishing game. Now you're not trying to get them, they're trying to get you now. So we are reversing the role. So imagine if you run Facebook ad, PPC, right? Oh, I already talked about SMS, direct mail. Okay? Now all we do is we're playing the fishing game. We just cast our net and you just sit back, my friend, and you just wait for them to call you. And so when the seller do call you, the inbound, they are much more qualified. Okay? Now, you're not gonna talk to as many sellers as if you were to pound the phone, right? You're not gonna talk to a lot. But now we're focused more on quality instead of quantity. And you won't get burnout, my friend. Okay? So now, if we were to do inbound, Kong, well, who is answering all your call? This is where you're gonna love. The boss, the wifey, she just created an AI call. She spent months. Dude, she was up 10, 12 hours a day to build this AI called Alex for us. And I'm telling you, man, she is an absolute beast. I even learned from her. So her job is to filter and qualify the lead. So now we can we do a lot of direct mail. So now we can send our direct mail on the weekends. It doesn't matter. Because our AI Alex, she doesn't sleep. She works when you sleep. Okay? She works after 5. She works on holidays. She works during weekend. She works around the clock. She doesn't whine. She doesn't complain. Okay? She doesn't need a pay raise or a bonus. She doesn't need a vacation. So, man, when long as I was over the weekend, we were in Seattle for 5 hours. Alex, my AI Alex, set me an appointment. I call that seller on a Monday. Lock him on the contract. We're going to make $100,000 on this deal. Haven't sold it yet, but let me tell you the numbers. The property is worth $750,000. I got the seller to accept $207,000. I know. The number sounds unbelievable, but whether you think it's true or not true, either way, you're right. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing in my business and what's happening. You can choose to believe it or don't believe it. It's up to you. Those who don't believe it don't make any money. Those who believe it's possible is the one who took action and make it happen. It's worth $750,000, man. I got under contract for $170,000. It's probably going to need about $100,000 to $150,000 in rehab. I'm going to make $100,000 on this deal. My AI Alex, dude, is the one who set me that appointment. And she has set me So many appointments. Okay. So now I went from removing cold callers. We don't need a call auditor anymore, dude. I trust Alex 100%, dude. You think you're smart until you talk to her. I think I was good until I talked to her. Dude, she's a badass. Okay. So now I just have one transactional coordinator. Okay. One transactional coordinator, me, and then I got a backup purchase manager. So the backup purchase manager, she's going to talk to a lead where it's just not as qualified. All right. So it's me and another one. Our team now, dude, went from 7 to just 4, or I think to just 4. Dude, because of AI. And AI is here to stay. And it's going to get even crazier and bigger. Whether you like it or not, I don't care what business you're in, but mark my word, your business will be disrupted by AI. So if you don't learn how to use it, you don't learn how to bring it into your business and and have it grow your business, cut down your overhead and increase the bottom line, I don't know what you're doing, my friend. Okay? You are behind the 8 ball. Every badass real estate investor that I know, dude, they all are implementing AI into their business. They're cutting down the overhead. Okay. So now by doing it this way, okay, SMS, PPC, Facebook ad, text, you're not going to talk to as many homeowners. You're not. But we're focused more on quality instead of quantity. So in my opinion, if you can talk to between 10 to 30, if you can talk between 10 to 30 qualified homeowner per month, you should be able to get one deal. And that one deal will make you, 10, 20, 30,000, whatever it is, whatever market that you're in. If you're in a cheaper market, you're probably looking more like a 5 to 10,000. You're in like a medium market like mine, you're probably looking at 20, 25. You're in a higher market, you're probably looking at more like 40 to 50,000. So how many of this do you have to do a month to become financially free? Just one. One deal a month, my friend, and you'll be able to escape the 9 to 5, the J-O, the B. So I believe that if you have the capital to leverage, don't cold call anymore. Just don't. I think it's a waste of time and it's exhausting and you will burn out. I think the better ways you got to leverage, do direct mail, SMS, PPC, Facebook ad, obviously text blast, okay? And just cast your net and wait for these homeowners to call you. Now, during that time, you have to master how to talk and negotiate with these sellers. And I think a lot of new wholesaler, the reason why you haven't got a deal under contract, beside maybe you have done everything. You've done all the marketing that you can already. But when you're on the phone with the seller, you don't know what to say. You don't know how to negotiate. And that's why you haven't got any deal under contract. So what you're doing is you're trying to get lucky versus actually building a skills. And my friend, skills is what pays the bills. So what you need to do, if I were you, if I were in your position, if I got the money to leverage, I'll cast my net, right? I'll cast my net. I'll go to work during my downtime, during my break, dude. I just practice. I just role play. I just practice my script. How do you practice? How do you get better? By practicing. Call for sale by owner. For sale by owner is probably the best way to actually practice. Call them, talk to them. And a lot of you haven't even done that. Call and talk to them, right? So that way you can get out of your comfort zone, get it off your back, right? When you start to get rejection, you'll be like, yep, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm good. Because some of you never even made the call before. You never even talked to a seller before. And you worry about, oh man, how do I find my buyers? Some of you haven't even done step 1 and you worry about step 10. You haven't even made a call. You haven't even talked to a seller. You haven't even got a prop in a contract. And you worry about, well, if I get a deal in the contract, where do I find a buyer? You don't even have a deal, my friend. What are you talking about finding buyers? You don't even have a deal. I mean, you can also do it reverse. Find your buyers, figure out where they want to buy, and then market to that specific neighborhood or city or county or whatever it is. You can do that too. But if you haven't done step 1, man, don't worry about step 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And some of you overanalyze. You want to wait until you figure everything out. And you always, and I've put out 4,000 YouTube videos. I've put out so much content for the past 7 years. Until today, I still get DMs from people saying, Kong, where do I start? What do you mean, dude? What do you mean, where do you start? In every single video, I tell you exactly where to start. So let's make this video as a video where I will share with you where to start. Here's where you start. If I were you, okay? If I were you, here's where I start. So let's just say if I go back 15 years ago, tell Kong when he was younger that he wants to get into real estate. Where do I start? Here's where I'll show you where to start, okay? Number one is you need to understand what wholesaling is. That's the first thing. Without understanding what wholesaling is, it's hard for you to play the game. So need to understand what wholesaling is. Let me share with you what wholesaling is, okay? Here's what wholesaling is, okay? And this is what I love about wholesaling. There's no buying, there's no fixing. You don't have to come out of pocket with a whole lot of capital, okay? So what you want to do is you want to find rundown houses in your city, in your states, in your county. You want to find a rundown houses with a motivated seller. Seller who are in a situation where they need to sell, not want to sell. There's a difference. When people need it, you know that they will get rid of it for whatever it is. So which means we're finding people who's in pre-foreclosure, back behind on taxes, okay? Divorce cases, inherit the property. Maybe the property's sitting vacant. Maybe it needs too much repair, right? So we're looking for a rundown house with a motivated seller. Once you're able to find them, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to negotiate a deal with the seller. And then some of you will be like, well, Kong, how do I know what to offer? I'll show you. ARV, which stands for after repair value. What does the property worth once it's fixed up? You got to know that. How do you know that? Run comps. Figure out, find 3 property that is similar to this house that you're trying to lock up. Figure out what it's sold for. Add 3, add them up, divided by 3. That's going to be your ARV, stand for after repair value. What does the property worth after it's fixed up? Once you figure that out, then you automatically minus 30%. Or some of you like to say times 70%. I don't care. It's the same shit. But for me, it makes more sense when I say 30%. I'm Asian. I like to think about, hey, you go to the store, you buy that's a 30% discount. It makes more sense to me, but whatever works for you. So minus 30%, and some of you will be like, well, Kong, why do we minus 30%? Because that's what the investor wants to make on their money, 30% discount. They want a 30% discount. Then you minus repair, whatever it costs to fix this house up. So let's just say it needs $20,000, okay? Then you minus whatever it is you want to make, my friend, whatever it is you want to make, your fee, okay? And that will be your max AMO, your max offer allowable to the seller. That's what you offer the seller. So let me run it down. Let's just say the ARV is 200,000. Minus 30% from that. Man, what is that? I can't. Okay, so I'm not going to use 200,000. I'm going to use 100,000. You know, people said Asian is good with math. I don't know what Asian I am, man, but I'm definitely not good with math. So 100,000. This shows you that you don't need to be smart. You don't need to have a degree. You can do this. You don't need to be smart to get rich. Most of the time, those who are book smart never got rich. Facts. The one that you see in school that are just book smart, they're just smart, bro. They usually end up working at corporate America at the J.O. to B. It's the one who is just not smart, but they're just street smart. They're just a hustler. Those are the one that actually becomes rich. Never mind. So 100K minus 30% puts you at 70,000. 70,000, it needs 20,000 repairs. That puts you at 50K. Let's just say you want to make 10,000 minus 10, which means you have to offer the seller 40,000. So you have to offer the seller a $40,000. Once the seller accepts the $40,000, you're going to send it out to your buyer for $50,000 because that's how much your buyer would buy for. Okay? So now you and the seller will sign what's called a purchase and sell contract. They agree to sell to you, you agree to buy it. But we're not buying it. This contract that they're going to sign, this exact contract that I've been using for the last like 15 years, man, to make millions from real estate, this exact same one. 4 pages, that's all it is. That contract gives you what's called equitable interest, which means we're not going to buy the property, but we have the rights to sell the contract, dude, to anybody we want for a profit. And that's exactly what we're doing as a wholesaler. We're not going to buy the property. We're not going to fix the property up. We're just going to find someone who wants to buy it, which is, we call them the investor, the cash buyer. We're just going to sell the contract over to them. And how you find them is from Facebook Marketplace. That's one way. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find a house flipper, an investor who wants to buy, fix, and flip it. Okay. Who wants to buy, fix, and flip it. Okay. We call them the cash buyer. They want to buy, fix, and flip this property. And then all you're going to do is once you find that buyers, you're going to be like, hey, I got this property under contract. You're not going to tell the buyer how much you got under contract for. They do not need to know. Remember, you got under contract for $40,000. You're going to tell your buyer, be like, hey, you want this deal here? You're going to buy for $50K. If the buyer agrees to buy for $50,000, you and the buyer sign what's called an assignment. An assignment contract, not a purchase and sell contract, an assignment contract. Once the buyer have signed that, you take both contract, you send it to a title company, my friend. They do the rest of the work and they'll get you paid. Okay? And they'll get you paid. So the buyer's going to come in with $50,000 to close on it, $40,000 is going to go to the seller, and the remaining $10,000, dude, that goes to you. Basically, we're just a middleman. Okay? We're just a middleman. We're like Uber. That's pretty much. Now I'm going to share with you, where do you start? Now that you understand what wholesaling is, here's where you start. I'm going to show you the free way, and I'm going to show you the pay way. Okay? Because I know some of you have money, and some of you who's watching this don't have any. And honestly, if you tell me you don't have any money, like no money, here's the first thing you need to do. If you don't have any money, that's the first thing you need to do. And if you tell me you don't come, dude, I can't find this. I can't even get a job. It's not for you, dude. This real world ain't for you. Because you know why? Because you are an excuse maker. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that you can't even find a job? Come on, man. Shit. You just think that you're too good. You're telling me that no one is hiring to be a janitor? Are you too good to be a janitor? Are you too good to go work at McDonald's and flip a burger and make $20 an hour? But you rather whine and complain about, hey, Kong, I don't have any money? Some of you do are cuckoo, man. Your mindset is so corrupted, I can't even help you. It's okay to be broke, dude. But if your mindset is corrupted, it is game over. It is game over. So if you don't have any money, this is the first thing that you should do. Not wholesaling. Not wholesaling. This is the first thing you need to do. Once you get the job, dude, now that you got some money come in, you got to be extremely frugal. Which means, dude, you're going to live as cheap as possible. As cheap as possible. And some of you are embarrassed. Oh, well, you know, that's why you got to go and rent a nice apartment. I was living in a shed behind a mobile home park for 5 years. From 18 until I was 23. Have no shame. You know why I have no shame? Because I was born and raised in Vietnam. I grew up in a mud hut. I used to live in a mud hut. So now you're telling me a shed? Dude, that's an upgrade. But some of you, dude, you've never been broke before. You never struggled before. You don't even know what poor is. You don't even know what struggle is. You think you're struggling, but all you got, dude, is first world problem. You tell me you have no money, but you probably have the latest iPhone. You probably have a Mac computer. I don't even have a Mac computer. So you tell me you don't have any money, but then you go out and eat. You tell me you don't got any money, but your car is probably nicer than the car that I was driving when I was making $100,000 a year. You know, when I was making $300,000 a year, I was still driving a Honda. And some of you, dude, you're making $70,000 a year, and you're driving the BMW, the Mercedes, the Lexi. Psh, bro, get out of here, dude. So what I'm saying, dude, is you, right? You only make excuses you don't want to make money. Sell the car. Downgrade it. If you need the money, dude, to invest into yourself and your business, don't go get a loan. Dude, don't go get a loan. Downgrade your living. Downgrade your car before you do anything else. Downgrade, dude. Because you need to learn how to live below your means. Otherwise, the more money you make, the more in debt you will get yourself into. You don't believe me? All these teenager, 20-year-old online, they make a boatload of money. So what? Awesome. The next thing you know it, they're in debt. Next thing you know it, they went bankrupt. Because their mindset is corrupted. They're more focused on looking rich versus getting rich. Until you got rich, dude, don't go fancy. I didn't buy Baby Rory until I was making $350,000 a month. So which means I could have bought it a long time ago. A long time ago. But I delay instant gratification. I don't need it. I want to make sure when I buy it that I am ready. That's why wherever I take my Honda, I'll take Baby Rory. I do not park it in a garage. I do not go to a dealership and sit there and negotiate. Ah, man, just to get $5,000 off. Waste of time. Dude, I'm ready to drop the dough, dude. I am ready. Oh, people are like, oh, call them the maintenance. If you worry about the maintenance, you worry about the gas, you worry about the insurance, and you don't want to take it out because you're afraid to scratch it, you can't afford it, my friend. That car is out of your league. Just like the girls that you got. Right? Oh, you're so protected, you're afraid. It's out of your league, dude. I'm just saying. If you don't believe me, dude, check your bank account versus your lifestyle. I don't care which one of you who's watching this, I can get online with you right now and point out why you don't have any money. How could you? Well, calm because inflation, man. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but let's move on, okay? This is not what we're here for. So first get that, okay? Now I'm going to show you what you need to do, okay? Once again, there's only two types of people in this world. Those who make money and those who make excuse. I don't care about your sad story. Your upbringing is not worse than mine. You struggle, not worse than mine. So I don't care about your sad story. Because I know you don't know what struggle is. You don't know what poor is. Dude, you're already blessed. And if you can't make it in America, you ain't gonna make it nowhere, my friend. If you can't even get rich in America, sorry, dude. 1, you're a snowflake. 2, you don't have what it takes. And obviously 3, dude, you're too soft for the real world. Okay? So first off, get that J-O to B. Get that money, come in, okay? Now I'm gonna share with you the free way versus the pay way. But there's no such thing as free in life. Because you know why? We already know time is money. There's no such thing as free in life. You either put up your time because your time doesn't worth much, or you have the money to buy other people's time. That's it. Okay. So let's just say if you have a tight budget. What I would do is I would do what's called D for D. Driving for dollars. Drive for dollars. And you need to find at least 10 to 20 rundown houses per day. Now, once again, dude, Don't give me any excuse, dude. I don't want to hear any excuse from you. You either do it or you don't. You're either making money or you don't. But you need to find at least 10 to 20 houses per day. For me, it takes half an hour. For you, I don't know. Okay? Easy. Honestly, dude, what wholesaling real estate is truly easy money. Why do I say easy money? It's no fat. Easy money is because I compare to what I used to do. I compare to seeing what other people do. When I see people, the contractor, man, seeing them out in the rain, out in the cold, out in the heat, and they're just, dude, that's hard work. What we do compared to them or other people, dude, it's so easy. You're just sending out your mailers and you're just waiting for the calls. You get on the phone, you chat, and you negotiate, and bam, make $20,000. Where can you do that? Not in my country. You can't wholesale in my country. Okay, so that's what you do, okay? So D for D if you don't have any money. Drive for dollars, easy. Okay? Take down the property address. There's a site called TruePeopleSearch.com. Costs you no money. Take the address, plug it in here, find the owner, send them a text, make them an offer. Okay? Now, let's just say that you do have some capital to invest. Here's what I would do. So there's a software that I use called King Data. Kingdata.ai. There's a software that I use called Kingdata.ai. This is where I go, and you can sign up for, once again, you can sign up for the basic plan, $149 a month. Okay, that's the basic plan. And here's the list that I would pull. I would go here without driving for dollar, without doing anything. I would pull a list of absentee owner, a list of tax delinquents, and a list of free and clear. These are people who own their property free and clear. This is the 3 lists that I would target with the basic plan, $149 a month. Now, before you whine and complain like a little bitch about the $149, once again, dude, you either come up with the money, or the excuses. Tell me this. So you tell me that in a month, you don't spend $149 on stupid shit. Each and every single one of us does, including me. But not when I don't have money. But listen, when I tell you I don't have money, I just don't have money for stupid shit. But Lon and I, dude, we save every single dollar, dude, and we stack our cash away. My first job, I was making $8.50 an hour. And Lon was working part-time. Just within a year and a half, we stack away $15,000 in the bank. Because our monthly budget to go out and eat and go to a movie was $50 a month. And Lon and I was living in a shed. We only pay her mom $200 or so a month to help her out with food. The rest was just pocket. Even though it might seem small, but dude, if you rank it up, dude, it just compound. Putting $100 away a month away, once again, doesn't seem like a lot. But some of you can't even do this. That's the sad part. But anyways, every single paycheck, Lon and I would just boom, bank it. Within a year and a half, we got $15,000 saved. So you cannot come to me and tell me, hey, Kong, I don't have any money. I don't believe in your bullshit. Okay? Because I look at the way that you dress. I look at the car that you drive. I look at where you live. Right? I look at where you eat, what you eat. Right? I already know. You're just baloney. You're just making excuses. Okay? When I was making $8.50 an hour, my coworkers, some of them were making $20 an hour because they worked there longer than I have. How do I was able to have money saved and this person don't? And when I was making this, and some of my brother and sister were making, dude, probably $75,000, $100,000 a year, why do we have money and they don't? Why? Simple. We save, they spend. We focus on our future, they focus on now. I want it now, I'm going to get it now. They focus more on looking rich versus getting rich. Period. The end. End of story. Okay? So this is why preparation meets opportunity is how you get rich, my friend. Right? Because that $15,000 that we were saving, we actually had an opportunity to buy over a kiosk business. Anyways, that's like a whole nother story. But but what I'm saying is that you can. It's just you choose not to. Each and every single one of you, man, can certainly come up with $149 a month. You just choose not to. If you don't believe me, I basically did a video just to prove my point, and I got a lot of hate on it, which is fine. I'm not here. I mean, my goal is obviously to hope as many of you like me as possible. Nobody goes online and like, you know what? I want people to hate me. But the thing is, I would not speak the truth just because I want to be likable. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here, man, to tell you what you need to hear. And a lot of time when you tell the truth, people don't like you, and that's fine. And I'm fine with that. I'm not a people pleaser. If you like to be pleased, I'm not your parents. Go to your parents. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear so you can shape up, become a man, not a little. So I was driving one day just to prove my point. There's this homeless lady just right here where I live, 15 minutes from my studio. I'm sorry, 5 minutes. She's just right here. I came up to her and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but do you have $67? She said, I don't. I said, if you can come up with $67, I'll match it. How long do you need? She said, give me 3 hours. I said, I'll be back in 3 hours. I came back in 3 hours. She has the 67. So so I gave her as promised. So my point is that she did what it took. And when you tell me you can't, you're worse than her. Like, she don't make excuses, dude. She go get it done. And some of you will come in the chat, Barokies. Oh, well, she's a bagger. Okay. And you're telling me you're not. Do you know what kind of DM I get every day from baggers? She bag in the street, you're bagging online. Oh, Con, can you help me this for free? You're begging for my time. Get out of here, bro. Oh, she's a bagger. She still did. Dude, she did what it takes. Get out of here, dude. But anyways, so that's going to cost you, man, that's the list that you pull. Once you pull that list, with this exact same software, one click of a button, you can send out your direct mail. And all you do, play the fishing game, my friend. Just wait for the seller to call you, get on the phone, lock the deal up on the contract. And all you need to do is one of these a month. That's pretty much it. You don't need to do 5. You don't need to do 10. One a month, $25,000 a pop, $300,000 a year. I don't care what city, what state you live in. If you live frugal enough, you're set. You're financially set. I truly believe that $25,000 a month, man. I don't care if you live in New York, the most expensive state, Hawaii. Dude, as long as you're smart with your money, you live below your means, you're frugal, you're all set, dude. At $25,000. Okay? And did you know that there are people who make millions of dollars and are broke? That's worse than if you were to make $10 an hour and have money saved. So, I mean, they have the skill to make money, but they do not have the skill, the discipline to keep the money. You need to understand this in life, my friend. First, you need to learn how to make it. That's the most important, right? You got to learn how to make the money. Dude, I'm taking you guys to school. First, you got to learn how to make the money. This is now we're going beyond real estate. First, you need to learn how to make the money. Second, bro, you need to learn how to keep the money that you make, man. You work so hard for it. And at the end of the day, a lot of you have nothing to show but stuff. At the end of the day, you have nothing to show but stuff. Stuff that actually costs you money. Dude, I still live in the exact same house that Lon and I bought 15 years ago. We still live in the exact same house, man. And every single time when I do a video about it, I get people who laugh at me online. You think I care? Of course I don't care. And that's why I show it. Because I want to prove to you. Lon and I still live in the exact same house bought 15 years ago. I live in a middle-class neighborhood. Toyota, Honda. Right? I live in a middle-class neighborhood. But guess what? I own 14 rentals. Have millions in the bank. That's all I care about. What do you care about? Whatever you care about, just look at your bank account. Whatever it is that you care about, my friend, just look at your bank account. Is it where you want it to be? If it's not, then obviously, dude, what you care about, dude, is you care about the wrong shit. So I see when I see all these young 20-year-olds, something online, making millions and have the mansion, the supercar, I know they're broke. I'm in the game. I know what it takes, dude. I know they don't got any money. I know they're not smart. Because if they were smart, dude, they would have taken that money and they would have started buying rental property instead of buying the car first. I didn't own Baby Rari until I think at that time I had about 10 rentals. It's got to be smart. So first, you got to learn how to make your money. Second, you got to learn how to keep your money. Third, you got to learn how to 10x, just like Uncle G said. You got to learn how to multiply it. Right? And listen, everything that I share with you, it's not like I'm some smart that came up with this. I learn all this. I learn it from other, and I'll just share it back with you. That's all it is. I'm not smart. I don't have everything figured out. My relationship is with the wifey is not perfect. My life is always under construction. It's not perfect. I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe in a perfect business. I don't believe in a perfect relationships. I don't believe in a perfect life. There's no such thing. Nobody had it all figured out. Nobody had the perfect, nobody. It's always under construction. And when you see someone that has this perfect, I'm telling you, dude, behind closed doors, you probably don't want to know. Okay? So now you got to learn how to invest it, my friend. Now that you have got rich, you learn how to make the money. You now can keep the money. You know how to multiply the money. Then now it's time to like, hey, how can I invest it? So instead of paying 40% to Uncle Sam, if you're in California, Uncle Sam is your partner. He's a 50-50 partnership. So now you'd be like, dude, how can I keep majority of my money is invested? So for me, I don't do stocks. I just focus on real estate. Now, yes, I do have crypto. I do have crypto, okay? But most is in real estate. But now you got to learn how to diversify and invest it. But until then, dude, your goal is to learn how to make it, keep it, multiply it. That's it. Simple as that. Okay? Do you use management company for your rental? That is correct. I do not manage any of my rentals because you know why? Let me tell you this, dude, so you guys can all understand. How much time I have left? Oh, shit. I'm running out of time. But let me tell you this, okay? I do not manage any of my rentals. I don't know what's going on with them. I have property managers that manage all of them. Rich people buy real estate. It's not for cash flow. It's not for what you call the passive income. They do not. They buy for two reasons. I mean, the main two reasons. One, tax. It will save them 40%, sometimes 50%, depending on where you live, and then appreciation. They need a place, dude, that is tangible, that is secure, that is indestructible to park their money. That is why the rich buy real estate, my friend. Poor people, focus on cash flow, passive income. But you're not gonna, dude, you're not gonna make 10, 20,000 a month thinking about this when you're stuck at this. Which means you're gonna be stuck at this, dude, for the next 10 to 20 years. If you're thinking about, hey, I'm gonna buy rental so I can have enough cash flow, passive income to escape. Just know that you will be stuck there, wherever you're working right now, that 9 to 5 for the next 20 years. Don't believe me? Do it. Do it. Because if your plan was good, you would escape the JOB a long time ago. But obviously, your game plan didn't work out. And that's why you're still stuck there. Because you're not focused on getting rich, which means how can you increase your active income? The only way is through building a business. Who do you know that make millions of dollars and retire when they're 30, 40, that work at a JOB? Who do you know? I mean, someone that you actually know personally. For me, I don't know anybody. Is there people online? Yes, but they're just online people. Do you know them? I don't know them. But the people, friends and family around me, the people I know, none. Every single people that got rich, that drive supercar, travel, vacation, first class, business class, going everywhere, dude, they have their own business, my friend. So get your mindset straight, get your money right, get rich before you're trying to build wealth. Okay? The info's there. The choice is yours. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here. I truly hope that this does add some value to you. If not, even a tiny bit. And if it does, then boom, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the family, welcome to the Wholesale Community Club. Be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button. Last but not least, for those of you who want to get into real estate and you're like, Kong, I want to level up. I want to get into real estate. I need the contract. I want the script. I want the courses. How can I get all of that? And plus, I want to be in a private community with you. Here's what you got, okay? All you need to do is go to right here, YouTube family, or you can check the link in my description. Go to school.com/WTM club. Info's there, the choice is yours. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. And let's go get this money. I'm out.